Imagine a world where a single misstep could mean freezing to death in minutes. During the last ice age, vast sheets of ice covered much of the Earth, with temperatures plunging below -40 degrees Celsius. For early humans, every day was a battle for survival against blizzards, scarce resources and deadly predators. Yet they not only survived, they thrived. How did they do it? Their story is one of ingenuity and resilience. We'll uncover how they hunted colossal beasts, built homes from mammoth bones, and harnessed fire to create warmth and light. These were not brutish cavemen, but intelligent, resourceful people deeply connected to their environment. Their innovations laid the foundation for human civilization. To understand their success, picture their world beautiful, brutal and teeming with life. Herds of mammoths, giant deer and bison roamed the frozen plains, providing food, clothing and shelter. Our ancestors became masters of this environment, reading the land and tracking animals across snow. Their intimate knowledge of nature was their greatest tool. But knowledge alone wasn't enough. They needed to innovate. To conquer the cold, they created technologies that changed human history. Their first challenge? Finding enough food to survive the relentless winter. Let's see how they secured their next meal. In the Ice Age, calories were life. The only way to survive the cold was with fat and protein-rich food. With few edible plants, our ancestors became apex predators, hunting mammoths, rhinos, reindeer and bison. A single mammoth could feed a clan for weeks, but hunting these giants required strategy, cooperation and advanced weapons. Flint spearheads and the atlatl, a spear thrower, gave hunters deadly reach and power. Hunts were coordinated group efforts, driving herds into traps and relying on trust and communication. Success meant survival for all, reinforcing social bonds. Nothing was wasted. Meat was frozen in permafrost caches, hides became clothing and shelter, and bones and tusks were turned into tools and homes. This complete use of resources showed respect for nature and mastery of survival. But even with food, one element was essential: fire. How did they tame this force to keep the cold at bay? Let's find out. Fire was the heart of the Paleolithic camp, providing warmth, light and safety. The hearth was where food was cooked, tools were crafted and stories were shared. Mastering fire was a long journey, from tending natural blazes to creating sparks with flint and pyrite or friction drills. This ability to make fire on demand was a game-changer. Fuel was precious. With few trees, they burned moss, shrubs, dung, and even animal bones, which provided steady heat. Archaeological sites are filled with charred bone fragments, evidence of this clever adaptation. Fire allowed humans to push into the coldest regions, extend their days, and transform their diets. The hearth became the engine of culture and survival. But even with fire, braving the blizzard required another innovation: clothing. How did they craft garments to withstand the cold? Let's explore the birth of tailoring. In Arctic temperatures, clothing was a matter of life and death. Our ancestors became the world's first tailors, crafting fitted, multi-layered garments from animal hides. Turning raw hides into flexible clothing was complex, scraping, softening, and treating with brains or smoke. The real breakthrough was the bone needle, allowing them to stitch together tailored trousers, parkas, mittens and boots. Layering different furs created effective insulation, much like modern winter gear. Clothing protected them from frostbite and allowed longer hunts and greater mobility. Some garments were decorated with thousands of beads, showing a sense of identity and artistry. This was more than survival. It was culture. But even the best clothing wasn't enough. They needed shelter from the endless winter. How did they engineer homes in a world of ice? Our ancestors were not just cave dwellers, they were engineers. In the open tundra they built spectacular dwellings from mammoth bones, as seen at Mezherish in Ukraine. These structures use circles of skulls and lattices of bones, covered with hides for insulation. Building them required community effort and planning. Inside, a central hearth provided warmth, while thick walls kept out the cold. These bone houses were semi-permanent villages, home bases for hunting and social life. Transforming animal remains into shelter was a profound adaptation. But what truly held these communities together? In the Ice Age, survival depended on the group, not the individual. Small bands shared tasks, hunting, tool-making, hide preparation, and caring for the young and old. Cooperation was essential, from coordinated hunts to communal construction and food sharing. Elders passed down vital knowledge, ensuring the next generation's survival. Burial sites show deep social bonds and care for the dead. Empathy and connection were the glue of society. These social networks allowed humans to face the Ice Age as a united force. But their inner world was as rich as their outer one. Let's step into the world of Ice Age art. Deep in caves like Lascaux and Altamira, our ancestors painted breathtaking images of bison, horses, and mammoths. Using mineral pigments and animal fat, they created masterpieces of movement and spirit. Many paintings are hidden deep within caves, suggesting ritual or spiritual significance. Portable art flourished too. Venus figurines, carved animals, and bone flutes filled their world with music and meaning. This explosion of art reveals a capacity for abstract thought and spirituality. Survival was not just about food and warmth, but about creating beauty and culture. These innovations still resonate today. What can we learn from their legacy? The story of our Paleolithic ancestors is a manual for survival and resilience. Their greatest strength was adaptability, innovating tools, strategies and social systems to meet any challenge. Community was vital, cooperation and mutual support were the rules for survival. Their deep knowledge of nature and resourcefulness offer lessons in sustainability. They wasted nothing, living as part of the ecosystem. Even in hardship, they created art, music and meaning. Their legacy is not just in our DNA, but in our societies and our drive to understand the world. Their fire still burns within us. What does their story mean for us today? Human survival through the Ice Age was no accident. It was ingenuity, cooperation, and willpower. From the atlatl to mammoth bone houses, every innovation was a victory against the cold. Their resilience is our inheritance. Their strategies, finding shelter, making fire, sourcing food, remain the cornerstones of survival. Their story challenges us to reflect on our relationship with technology, community, and nature. We are the descendants of these winter warriors, their legacy written in our genes. By studying their lives, we learn about the fundamental nature of humanity. Their story is our story, a timeless epic of survival, innovation, and hope.